I won't tell anyone when I'm at the student union.
So I've been hosting like just house parties since I was a sophomore in college.
The music writing really started when I launched my column, The Music Never Stops. The 2023-24 school year, there wasn't really one consistent house venue, and this void was there. I was like, will this be filled? Luckily, Dog Pound has stepped up in a huge way this year.
I don't know, I really like the like helping each other kind of environment that DIY shows have. I really wanted to fill the void of like, since, you know, Funk and Mud unfortunately had to like shut down.
It was Mud House, actually. Gunk House.
They all sound the same.
They all sound the same, yeah. It started as
swear.
Gunk House, so, but then they eventually changed to Mud House because they didn't want to, there's too many unks. There was a band called Gunk Crab and they wanted to sort of expand.
When you're at a house show, you get to meet all sorts of interesting characters, have all sorts of funny conversations, but most importantly, you get to see some really great music there.
The off-campus part of it really, like if run correctly, it really does like allow for people to like explore their self-expression, like have a good time, like meet each other and like network and stuff like that. And I think it's a really valuable and important thing. You just meet people who are doing all kinds of cool stuff, but it'll be like people who make their own clothes, or people who like, you know, do tattoos, or people who like do piercings, or like people who make like, we have a person who sells like candy, like, you know, the bracelet kind of thing. I think it's like a unique space to meet people like that.
Because we felt like it was becoming a whole like artist collective. It was really cool, like to see a music scene being created.
Because I think a lot of networking opportunities like that are very formalized, like, you know, the barrier of even like being in the School of Fine Arts, and then like the School of Fine Arts, I feel like for music and art really caters to like a specific kind of like, you know, art that you're making. Like, I want to do this as my career.
We've seen a couple events with campus bands, but I think the house shows really give a place for these local bands to start out. I feel like the opportunity for these new bands to start like that, that's really something that you can find at house shows there, where they're willing to take chances on you. Whereas with these on-campus events, you have to be more established.
It's important that there's a space for people who are doing their expression in, I suppose, like a different kind of way to be able to meet each other. Because it's been really nice, like to platform like bands who are like local to UConn, like we've debuted a few different bands. It's been really nice to see how far it's grown.
Funkhouse was typically one show a weekend. Dog Pound has consistently been going Friday and Saturday night, back-to-back shows, which is really, really impressive.
I'm super impressed with what they've done and how they've managed to kind of carry the scene along, because after the people who are running Mud House and Funk House graduated or had to leave their houses, somebody had to step up and do it. And it's so cool that they've carried on this tradition.
Like everything that happens, you know, at UConn is really valid and really important. I think it's just important that there's also like a complement to it that is like really open to pretty much anyone. Because I think that's a big difference between like the DIY music scene and like a lot of the other options that you have, which are basically like a frat or a bar.
It was a vibe, like just being part of this community of all these bands, and like, you know, like we don't care that the authorities trying to crack down on us. Like, we're just gonna make music happen, because the reality is the people, especially young people in this area, we're here for the community and we're here for the music and the vibes, and there needs to be the freedom to express art safely.
I feel like there's been a big crackdown on like youth doing things. Like people just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to see like kids out and about. And I think part of that is like people being out of pocket with how they're behaving, but I think it is an important thing. Our space has been called a third space like a number of different times, and I think I would really agree with that. Like, even though it's like a concert and you have to pay to get in, like it's not a flaw, so if you really don't have the money, you don't have to pay to get in. And then also like just a cool space to hang out. And I think that for me is like the main thing that I resonate with in terms of it being like a third space, is just that it's like a place that people can come and they can just like exist and not worry a ton about like whatever else they're worrying about that's external to this place.
It's really fun to be a part of a crowd like that, because it's dark, everybody's going kind of wild, and you feel invisible, but in a really good way. You know what I mean?
We just try and generally be like a good like resource, I suppose, for people, and like try to just be like helpful or like have community events. A big mission of ours in particular, I think, is to spotlight like queer, trans, femme, and like BIPOC voices in the music scene. We want to just like platform people who are like marginalized in society as a whole, but also just who might not have necessarily as many resources or opportunities within the music scene or like, you know, overall.
Everybody I've talked to about playing Dog Pound has raved about it. They always talk a lot about how they feel just right at home there and just the energy of the Storrs crowd.
Dog Pound definitely makes sure to treat the artists right that they
take
bring
care of
in.
the people. I feel like if it's a safe place for queer people, then anybody to be.
Giving us a space to create and share it with others and be inspired or inspire others. They definitely were necessary for that. Just feeling like we have a community, which is super important.
Yeah, especially exposing us to like a younger audience because the younger people are going to be the ones to carry on the world, and they definitely need a space to express themselves and experience art.
Something was out of balance, and I felt the ground get tense. Ooh, he's looking around the